These are some of my psychology tricks that I've learned that are going to help you stop overthinking and start learning to detach from things. When you're in these situations, you're anxious, you're overthinking, you have to stop and start asking yourself, okay, what would I do if I didn't care? What would I be doing right now if I was detached? What would the detached best version of me be doing? And then you have to force yourself to do that. And I know that that's really hard, but you have to fake it. You have to act, and you have to act and act and act until it becomes your default, and force yourself, because it's a decision to be secure. And you have to tell yourself, I am not going to overthink this. I'm not going to let myself think this way, and force yourself until it becomes natural. The brain is neuroplastic and it will change. There's a mechanism that exists in the brain called sensory gating. The brain's ability to filter out what it doesn't need, what's useless to it. And besides the fact that human beings are just very egocentric, we can only see things from our perspective. We're very concerned about ourselves. Other people are not sitting there thinking about your embarrassing moment, about that weird thing that you said or you did, because they literally can't. Their brain eventually will filter it out. If you ever start comparing yourself to someone else, ask yourself, if this person and I were to throw all of our problems, life experiences, good, bad, ugly, everything, out onto a table and you could see all of it, would you really trade lives with them? No. You're comparing yourself to an idealized version of them you've created in your head. It's not real. Ask yourself, am I spiraling or am I solving? When you're talking about your problems and your emotions, 90% of the time, it needs to be in a solution-oriented way. Otherwise, you just end up overthinking yourself into a spiral and you're not actually achieving anything or getting anywhere. Energy flows where attention goes. So if all of your attention is on how horrible and awful and difficult this thing is, that's what's gonna grow. You have a very strong threat detector in your brain, and this is because when we were cavemen, like hunting and foraging for food, if you saw an apple in the forest for you to eat, because you're trying to feed yourself, but then a saber-toothed tiger came in, your brain is gonna be way more focused on the saber-toothed tiger every single time because it's a threat. And so you're trying to protect yourself. Your survival is gonna be much more important than what's feeding you. And so you have to recognize that pattern when you get into situations like, I'm focusing so much more on the tiger and on the thing that I think is like hurting me or threatening me than what could be feeding me out of the situation. And you have to force yourself and force your brain to start thinking differently and ask yourself, what is feeding me? Like, what am I getting out of this? Because there has to be something. And maybe it's a lesson. Maybe it's, oh, I'm gonna get so much more attractive after this. Or maybe this is forcing me to become more secure in myself. Maybe this is forcing me to become better with rejection. But figure out what is feeding you and dissect that instead. It's a puzzle, not a problem. There are so many things that you have control over in this life, but everything going according to plan A is not one of them. And I don't know if you've noticed, but life is rarely gonna go the way that you think it's going to. And so it's really all about how you learn to deal with plan B. And that is really hard, but you can do hard things.
If you want to detach like a motherfucker, repeat these affirmations, because this is what helped me. It is easy for me to detach because I am my own home. It is easy for me to detach because I have all basic needs around me. It is easy for me to detach because I know I understand myself the best. It is easy for me to detach because I am my own best friend. It is easy for me to detach because God never fails me. It is easy for me to detach because I've always gotten what I wanted. It is easy for me to detach, period. Everything that I said is fucking true. Okay? So you don't need this person or you don't need this thing really. It's just an add-on to your life. It's easy for you. It's easy for you to detach because you have everything you need already. Okay? That's what's going to help. Anyways, love you guys. Follow for more.
Ever since I learned the law of detachment, I have not obsessed over one single man. And I'm going to tell you how I did it. You know when you're like, Jeremy, I'm tired of you doing this, I'm tired of you doing that, look at this, I'm sick of that, and you keep on talking, don't. Shut your mouth. Stop talking. I had to learn that men do not hear this. As a woman, as a feminine woman, we like to explain. You did this and it made me feel like this and I just can't, and I hate when you did, and da-da-da-da. And I'm not saying to not communicate your feelings because it's very important to do so. You keep on writing out those long, drawn-out paragraphs explaining to him and talking his ear off and saying da-da-da-da. He is not listening. But you know what they do listen to? Nothing. They listen to being blocked. They listen to silence. They listen to not arguing back. They listen to, okay, I've already said that 5 times. I'm not going to say it again. Men do not understand women they cannot emotionally control. So when you learn to get your own emotions in check and in control, that's when you can just have a free and fun dating life without being like, oh my God, he didn't text me back in 20 minutes. Does that mean he is? And no, you're not worried about that. Honestly, one of the hardest things that I had to learn during my femininity journey was learning how to not be obsessed, not be a quote unquote lover girl, which being a lover girl is fine, but just to the right person, and getting rid of my anxious attachment style. When you operate in a scarcity type of mindset, you're like, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work out with him, then I'm gonna end up single forever. He doesn't text me back, then I'm just gonna be single forever. You have to know that if this doesn't work out with Billy Bob Joe, that it will work out with Terry. You have to understand that that's not the end of the world, and you cannot cling and hold on to something in someone that you want so bad, because people pick up on that energy and they feel desperate energy. They pick up on the energy of, oh no, I can't drop my plans to come see you tonight because I'm doing blah blah blah. I'm getting my nails done, I'm doing this, I'm hanging out with my girls, I already have plans. But the moment you drop said plans to hang out with this guy, it goes downhill. You wonder why you're so nice to him, you're so sweet to him, and you just get ghosted. But you're like, I'm so sweet and I'm so nice, but he keeps on ghosting me. I don't want to say this because I wanted to not believe it for so long, but men really do love B words, and the men could be upset in the comments, but they do. They like the woman who's all about herself. They like the woman who's too busy to communicate. They like the woman that is out doing what she's doing. I feel like women think sometimes, if I'm super nice to him and if I'm super sweet and if I'm super understanding and if I'm like, oh no, you didn't text me back in 5 days, it's okay, I understand you were busy, I understand you had work. Oh no, you're 2 hours late to our date, it's okay, I'll wait for you. No, men see that as you being a doormat, and I'm sorry, but they do. They're not gonna see you being super duper nice as what you want it to give. It's not giving that, because he's gonna be like, oh, I go a week without texting her and she's still gonna be nice to me and she's still gonna show up at my call when I call her and she's still gonna do X, Y, and Z with me. Then I can just keep on doing what I'm doing. But if they have repercussions for the things that they do, then they're not going to do it. So be okay with letting people go. He does something that you don't like, my husband would never do this, and I'm okay letting you go. I understand that people are human, so give people a little bit of grace. But if it's something that's like blatantly disrespectful, my husband could never, and I'm out. Let me be the one to tell you, if a guy is texting you and then he randomly stops texting you, that's not your sign to text him 3 days later and be like, hey, remember me? Hey, you ghosted me? No. If he wanted to, he would text you. At this point, you're pursuing him. If you guys are having communication and he just stops texting you, let him. If he plans a date and he doesn't show up to the date, or he doesn't ever ask you if you guys are still going on the date, let him. Just let him do what he does and just fall back. Simply fall back. A man who really wants to be with you will do any and everything in his power to let you know that he likes you, to let you know that he's thinking about you and that he wants to make you the one. A man who is allowing you to operate in confusion, what are we, what's going on, how come you haven't texted me, how come you haven't planned a date, how come, that's not the man for you. Your husband would never want you to feel like that. A man wants you to know that he wants you. You will know. So the second that there's any inconsistencies, the second that you're feeling, ooh, I don't know, and you're feeling anxious, and it's a trauma response, and that man probably isn't good for you. It's honestly insane, but the less you want something, the more it wants you. So if you're obsessing over a guy, stop it. Pull your energy back and watch him come crawling back to you. Last thing, posting on your story these sad little quotes, emotional little pictures, trying to get his attention, it's only doing the opposite of what you want it to do. Don't do it. If anything, just don't post, because they're gonna be like, what is she doing? How come she's not posting? Is she out on a boat? Is she doing this? Is she doing that? Is she dating that guy that she told me not to worry about? Like, always remember, you can never love a man into loving you, no matter how hard you try.